What's up, YouTube? It's your boy AyeQ back with another reaction video. And the title of the video that we're going to do a reaction to today is titled One Night Stand to Engaged in 5 months. Sounds crazy, right? Listen, I always tell you guys, is only a specific type of woman who will sit down on a podcast and put this type of information out there to the public, to the world. A woman who don't really value her relationship. All right? So, obviously, I'm pretty sure it was her idea to do this video. Let's jump right into it.
I'll start off, babe.
Yeah, I think the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because so many people over the years have asked about our story and how we met, and we have a very unique story. It's not your typical love story, and it's definitely not your typical Christian love story. And I really wanted to share our story because honestly, God has been so good in it, and it's just so atypical, honestly. Yeah. And I think 100%. It would be fun to just share it, talk about it, reminisce a little bit, and just let you guys into something that we haven't actually publicly talked about together. I have talked about it by myself.
And it's always like an in-person conversation when we're meeting somebody new or we're talking with friends. It's like, oh yeah, here's how we met. Here's the story.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And every time we share the story, people are always just so blown away. They're like, what?
Yeah, lifetime movie material. People be saying.
So yeah. So where do you want to start, babe?
The year was 2016. We were on a boat out in the middle of the Gulf Coast. Okay. All right. Let me cut it out. Nah, so yeah, I'll start there. I guess I was working on a cruise ship at the time. I got hired. I think I'd been working on cruise ships for like 2 years. I was a musician at that point, sideman, playing keys in, different bands and, acts that they had on the ship. And this fine lady over here sitting next to me now, she pulled up on the cruise one week with her family and with some of her friends. And it was a 7-day cruise, I believe.
It was 8 days.
We were kind of rotating back and forth between 7 and 8 day cruises out of Miami. And I think we were going to Aruba at that time. Curacao, Cozumel, maybe Grand Caymans.
Dominican.
Cayman Islands could have been on that stop.
Grand Cayman, I think, was on it. We went to so many different places.
Yeah, it was a good amount of places.
It was a great cruise, honestly.
So yeah, it was like a 7-8 day cruise. And we were sailing the ocean. Everybody's having a great time. And I think 3 days into the cruise, we didn't know anything about each other, never saw each other. And I actually think I saw Ave first. I was like, for the musicians, we were, allowed to go kind of eat in the guest areas and eat at the restaurants and stuff. So I think I was just going to grab lunch one day in one of the upstairs like bars. I think they called it the Lido Deck. And so I was just going to,
wow, memories.
Yeah. I was just going to grab some food. And I saw this fine little chocolate petite thing walking down the hallway, and she was kind of far. You were kind of far ahead of me, so all I caught was like braids, and I'll never forget you wearing like this gray sundress.
Aww,
I still remember to this day.
That's so cute that you remember that.
Yeah, you were wearing this gray sundress, doing your thing, and I think I might have been like with some coworkers or something. And so I remember making note to know, like, wow, she looks beautiful, but like I don't know if now's the right time to to approach you. And so
you were plotting before I even
I was plotting.
saw you.
I was plotting. And so I think we just kind of went separate ways. Like it wasn't really an opportunity to strike up a conversation. And then the next day, maybe it must have been the next day, my band was playing in just one of the venues on the ship. And I saw you walk in with one of your other girlfriends and then 2 guy friends as well. And so I think like the automatic assumption that I thought was like, oh, okay, they got boyfriends or something, probably. Because it was like 2 girls, 2 guys, y'all on vacation. I'm like, I just didn't think people came on vacation with random dudes.
Yeah.
So y'all came and sat down at the venue that we were playing at. and I was just talking, chopping it up, having a good time or whatever. And so I saw you when you walked in. I saw y'all when y'all walked in. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on with this situation over here, but I just need to go talk to them and have a conversation and see what's going on. And so we think we're doing like 4 sets. We were playing like 4 1 hour or 45-minute sets. And so I'm pretty sure like at the end of that set after they walked in, I went over and just introduced myself to the group because it was 4 of them and just asked where y'all were from. And I remember instantly I was intrigued because y'all were like, oh yeah, we're from Toronto. And I don't even think I had really met. I mean, if maybe I might have met some Canadians, but I definitely didn't meet any like good-looking black female Canadians.
Oh, what are you trying to say about Canadian girls?
No, I just did like, I don't know. I was unaware.
You just were unexposed.
Yeah. I was unaware of the culture or like, even now after living in Canada, I didn't know that there was such a huge Caribbean and just immigrant demographic. Like almost 50% of the country literally immigrated into the country, wasn't born there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different people from a lot of different countries. But anyway, so yeah, y'all told me that y'all were from Canada, that y'all were, cruising together. And I don't even remember if I must have asked like, oh, are y'all like, is somebody dating here? Like is somebody together or something? I don't exactly remember how that happened, but I feel like I threw that in somewhere just to make sure, you were available. You were single and available. And so I think y'all told me that y'all were all just friends. And so, yeah, we continued talking for a little bit. I asked what y'all were doing that night. Y'all said y'all were going to be going to party or whatever. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. Hopefully I can, see y'all throughout the cruise. And then I had to go back to playing though. So y'all disappeared for the remainder of the day. And then the plan was to go meet later that evening and hopefully have more conversations.
Yeah. So, okay. Elijah.
Look, let me give you guys some context, bro. In case y'all don't know, women get down on those cruises. They get buck wild on those cruises, bro. Trust me. Chicks be going. And as a man, you gotta understand, bro, if you meet a chick on a cruise, it's strictly a fun time. You never take a chick serious that you meet on a cruise.
Jumped right into it, but I think that there is very important preliminary information because me and my family were actually going on this cruise, and at the time I was going with my childhood best friend and my ex-boyfriend and my guy friend. So right. I know what you guys are thinking, like, oh, were you guys like a thing? Was it a situationship? It actually wasn't. Like literally there was no feelings on my end for sure. I don't know about him, but
listen to what she just said. There were no feelings on my end. I don't know about him, but I'm trying to have fun on this cruise. This is her ex-boyfriend, man. Oh, what? Well, this is what she's saying. At the time, it probably was her boyfriend. Who knows? But that's how these chicks get down, bro. Think about going on a cruise with a chick you used to smash. And she's on the cruise. Nah, I'm good on you, bro. I'm trying to do my thing. Instantly a bird. And as a man, you gotta know better, bro. You gotta know better. You engage to this chick? Yo, nah. Dudes be tripping, man. Dudes be tripping. And he should know better because he worked on the cruise. And I'm pretty sure he probably be running through mad different broads on that cruise. But he let this little chick finesse him into him engaging to her. Got him.
For sure, like we were just cool. So we went on this cruise together and we were just having a good time. And very early on in the cruise, my best friend had like met a guy,
Yeah.
and then the guy had a brother, and I was like talking to the guy, but I don't know, he was kind of just a jerk, honestly. He was just a jerk. I wasn't really feeling him, but like I kept him around because I was just like, whatever. My best friend is
Vacation.
tied up with someone.
Yeah,
it's
it's
vacation.
vacation. You
Like,
don't wanna be
let
third
me have.
wheeling.
And during this time, I was a believer, but I was going through a very rebellious phase. Like, I had experienced a lot of disappointment in my relationship with God, and certain things didn't play out the way that I wanted them to.
What?
And obviously, I had all these expectations of God, and I wasn't happy with his timing of things. So I was going through this really rebellious phase. And that's really where I was at this time when we went on this vacation.
So what she's trying to say, I was going through my whole phase. That's all she's trying to say. She said rebellious. You mad at God? Y'all gotta understand that's how these birds are, bro. Here's the thing about these birds. In these birds' mind, they think, okay, if I pray to God, he should give me what I want. Even though they don't apply themselves. They don't work on themselves inside out, internally. But in a bird mind, she thinks, okay, if I find God, if I go to church, God will give me what I want. And if he doesn't, I'm rebellious. Bro, it's sad, bro, but it's real. That's the mindset of a bird. This is wild.
So I know from Elijah's perspective, he had seen me earlier on in the cruise. I literally never saw this man. Like, I literally thought the cruise was just full of uglies. Like, there was nobody for me. And I was really happy that my childhood best friend at the time had somebody, and they were really enjoying each other's company. But because I wasn't enjoying the brother that much, I remember going on the balcony of the cruise of our room, and I remember actually like typing in my notes, like, Lord, like, I know our relationship isn't very strong right now, but I would love to meet somebody, you know, like I would just love to meet somebody. I remember actually typing that out during my quiet time with the Lord.
This is wild, bro. Begging God for some dinner. No, this man just said he introduced himself to her, right? But she just said, I don't remember meeting anybody. So whatever happened, she wasn't paying this dude no mind at first. Let's continue.
So it's crazy because it wasn't until, did you say day 3 or 4? Like almost halfway into the
it was
cruise.
definitely like halfway. Yeah.
That's when I finally saw him, which was the day that he approached us.
Oh, my
And
bad.
I remember walking
Got
into
that
that
wrong.
space. My head was on a swivel because I was literally in a very, I guess, thirsty place in my life, honestly. I was just like, is there anybody anywhere? And I didn't see him. It wasn't until we sat down and I looked.
Look, fellas, y'all gotta understand something, bro. When a woman is a quality woman, bro, when she's really that, she never feels thirsty. A bird is always thirsty. You know why? Because a bird is never satisfied, bro. A bird will run through mad dinos and still be thirsty. Understand that. Now she's on a cruise with a dude that she used, well, he's probably smashing still, I don't know. But she claims she's on a cruise with a dude that she used to smash, her ex-boyfriend. Think about this. She's on the cruise with a dude that used to be, and she's saying that, yo, I remember praying to God or whatever she said because I was mad thirsty. God, please send me some dinner. I'm starving. And you saved this broad, bro. Yo, this is wild.
Up and I saw this man on the piano, okay? And I thought to myself, where has this man been? Like, literally, the first time I saw you, I remember I literally said out loud, I'm like, this man is sexy, okay? Like, my mind was already going.
And that's a big statement because that was back when I had the dookie dreads.
He had these dookie
Bro, I had
dreads.
free form dreads, and they weren't super long either. So they were like 6, 8 inches. Like it was rough. It was rough out there.
Bro, yeah. And I loved it. Like, I loved him. Like, I literally just, like, it felt like love at first sight. I was just so enamored by you. It was insane. And I remember seeing you on the piano, and I was just like, he is so sexy. And my mind went to like all of the inappropriate places. Honestly, I was just like,
Just lustful.
just lustful. And that's where it was. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. That's why I said this isn't your typical Christian love story. So if this is what you're here for, you're not gonna get it, because this is just our story, and this is where I was at the time, and I'm being honest, you know. So I remember you coming up to us, and you were so charming. This is something about Elijah. Elijah's
is
very
funny,
charming.
man.
He has a way with words. He knows what to say. He's really engaging. He keeps your eye contact. And I remember just being so blown away by his communication. I was just like, not only are you fine, not only can you play the piano, but you're also communicating well and looking at me in my eyes. Like, I was just like, please. And I just remember
Meanwhile, her ex-boyfriend is right there. While she's lusting over Buddy, a stranger, getting all wet and bothered, ready to go right now, her ex-boyfriend is sitting right there.
being obsessed, literally obsessed the moment I met you. And at that time when we met that night, you were like, oh, I have a crew party. I remember you saying that. There's a crew party that night.
Oh, that night. Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, there's
I'll
a crew
try to get
party.
away or something.
I'll try to get away,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. Did we ever end up meeting that night?
I think it was the next night. Nah.
It was the
night
next
after.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next night we ended up seeing each other.
Yeah, like it wasn't, because they do have clubs, like a club on the ship, but it wasn't at the club. I think they had like a DJ set up on one of the deck areas.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we met up there, and that's when we started dancing together.
Yeah, talking. Yeah, conversating.
And literally, it was over from that
Yeah.
moment. Like, literally, it was over. We just had so many good conversations, and it
Yeah.
went really deep really quickly.
It did. I think something I realized is when you're like, if you meet somebody on vacation.
Yo, this is crazy, man. And this is why I tell y'all dudes all the time, bro. You gotta treat a bird like a bird. What, you think you're special? This is what she does. It's a energy, bro. The worst thing a man could do is start thinking that he's special because a chick is lusting over him. If a chick is lusting over you, bro, you got to treat her accordingly. Because trust me, this is not the first time she got thirsty for a dude. This is what happens when a dude walks in a room that she's attracted to. She's not disciplined enough to control herself. That's a bird. A bird is indisciplined. She's easy. And as a man, you got to be aware of that. And don't think, oh, man, I'm special. Oh, she think I'm handsome. You're not the only dude out here that's handsome, bro. So what do you think will happen when she meet other men that she think is handsome when you're not around? What do you think going to happen? You think she's not going to be thirsty and praying to God? God, please send me some dinner right now. I'm thirsty. The first dude that she meet, listen to what she said. The first dude that she met that she felt was handsome, listen to what she said, bro. She has no self-control. She's weak to the flesh. That's a bird, homie.
or like on a cruise or something, pretty much you're just speeding up the dating process. Especially, which I think is like what happens if you look at a lot of the dating shows too.
Yes.
It's like if you meet somebody on the street and y'all exchange numbers, whatever, you start dating if you're a guy, you start dating a chick, and you take her out on a date. Y'all might have 3-4 hours if it's a good date. You just take her out to dinner. Hey,
Right.
2 hours. Y'all take separate cars. You might not even have a chance to talk in the car unless you pick her up. So it's like, let's say on a good date, you get 4 or 5 hours of quality time in. And then you space that out over, a week, 2 weeks. Y'all might only go out, once a week or once every 2 weeks or something, when you first getting to know each other. So then it could like take a couple months to really even just spend 24 actual quality
That's
hours
so
in.
true.
Versus like we met and literally like that first night that we actually spent time together.
We stayed.
Like, I think, we probably saw each other at like 9 p.m. And then we literally stayed up till whenever talking.
We were together that night.
Right.
We were together that night. I mean, did I give you the nani the first night or the second night?
I thought that was too much for the pod. That was too much for the pod.
I just want to be honest because I feel
Bro, we know. You smash this chick instantly, bro. She's a bird. She's going. You ain't got to tell us that she give it up the first night, even though you engaged to the broad. But from the time she said, oh, when I saw him, instantly my mind was, I was ready. Oh. So even if you don't crack the first night, she was ready to be cracked the first night. This is the type of bird you got. And by the way, she's saying all this shit on a podcast. She's telling the entire world, I give it up on the first night. This bird ain't got no shame, bro. What type of respectable woman will want to put this information out there to the world? I keep telling you all about these birds, bro. These birds ain't got no shame. And they're going to always embarrass you, fam. This is embarrassing. Because what type of man want the world to know that he wifed up a bop? And here's the thing, bro. You're not special. So if you smash on the first night, think about how many other dudes smash the first night. And by the way, in case y'all don't know, those girls from Canada, when they travel, they be ready. In case y'all don't know, I'm just keeping it real. Every chick that I met from Canada, like when I went to, let me see where I went. I went to like Miami Carnival last year. I met a chick out there, ready. I went to the Bahamas a few years ago. Chick from Canada, ready. Every chick that I meet from Canada be ready instantly. Because they travel miles away to have fun. Any chick that you meet on a cruise, fellas, they be ready, bro. Instantly. Instantly. Only birds be going on cruise to have fun, bro. If you meet a woman on a cruise, she's ready to bust it wide open. Just keeping it funky.
feel like at any point in time, did you think it was gonna be honest, a one night stand situation?
I mean, I wasn't really going into the situation thinking either way. Like, oh, this could be I'm looking for a one night stand, or oh, I'm looking for a girlfriend or a wife. Like, I was just like, yo, this girl is fine. I'm trying to holler. I'm trying to see what she's talking about. Yeah, we was just going off of vibes. So like, I didn't really walk in with any expectations of a specific outcome.
Yeah, I think what was really interesting about that was I remember like our first night together, and then our second night together, then our third night together. Like, we literally did not separate from that moment unless you had to work.
I had to work, yeah.
Yeah, and then when he was done working, he would come back and hang out with me. Mm-hmm. And I remember during the day, you would practice on the piano.
And they had a piano bar on the ship.
They had a piano bar. And I remember being so drawn to even your work ethic at that point, because you told me
I wasn't really getting off on the ports at that time. I was
you
just
weren't
kind of staying on the ship.
you had all this free time during the day, and you would spend your free time playing the piano.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And you would tell me about the books you were reading. And I remember feeling a really strong connection to you. And I knew that there was something there because I had always said I didn't want children.
Mm-hmm.
But I will never forget. I think it was like our third night together. I know you're going to think I'm crazy because it's crazy what I said. But I am not like this. I genuinely am not like this.
Not at all.
Like this.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I remember, I think it was like our third night together. And I was like, I literally want to have your kids. Like, I want to have your children. Like, I think it was because I saw so much in you. And I was like, man, this is the kind of man that I want to have kids with.
Yeah.
Like, if
this shit, these birds will say anything, bro. The man was deep in your guts. He was enjoying the moment. And then you scream, I want to have your baby. Pure bird activity, man. Pure bird activity. But what's ill about this, bro, is the fact that homie knew Shorty's a bird. Because, bro, if you just met this chick on a cruise and you knucking it down, you won, right? As a man, you conquered. Like you came, you saw, you conquered, you scored. See what I'm saying? And you were scoring the whole time on the cruise, right? But how the hell this chick got you to propose to her? How the hell this chick got you to look at her like she's wifey material? And that's how she got you. That's why this bird marked out this dude to be a sucker, bro. Because the fact that she bust down, right? She got down and dirty, and then she turned around and made him look at her like she's wifey material. Got him.
if I'm going to create a legacy with someone, this is the kind of man I want to create a legacy with. And I think leading up to that, I told myself I didn't want kids. But I think what the thing was, no, I didn't want kids with any of these men. It wasn't kids thing. It was actually more about the man. So I think when I met you and heard how you spoke and saw your work ethic and saw how serious you were about me,
bro.
it just did something for me. I was like, this is the man I need to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember very early on you told me, you were like, I'm not, what'd you say? You were like, I was like, do you believe in Jesus? I don't remember what I said. Do you remember that? It was on the cruise ship.
Yeah. We were, it's funny too because we were literally like, I don't know, I'm not, whatever, we're here. We were literally like laying next to each other in bed. And you were like, yo, so like, what do you, like, where are you at with your faith walk?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It was something to that extent. Like, I'm a Christian and I'm serious about Jesus. Like, what do you think? And at that time, I had walked away from the faith. Like, I think just my parents are pastors, and I think just the environment that I walked away from, like graduating high school, kind of like pushed me away from the faith.
Right.
And so at that point, I was like, man, I was on a spiritual journey trying to figure out what I believed in and reading books on Buddhism and Islam and all these different religions. And so I was just at a place where I was like, man, I don't know if there's one true way to get to God, but I do believe in God. And you asked me, like, do I believe in Jesus? And I was like, no, I think Jesus was just a man at that time. And
I remember when he said that, I said, oh, I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah.
And then Elijah was very forward. He was like, girl, I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Like, you said something like that, like something super smooth and very confident, like, we're making this work. And I remember having a lot of inner conflict because of that, because I was like, no, I want the man that I marry to be a believer. That was like his only red flag at the time. I was like, what?
And like I was in the States, you were going back to
He was in
to
the
Canada.
States.
We
I
were
was
in two
going back
different
to
countries.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
we're-
remember thinking, I don't know how this is going to work. And I had built up all of these things.
She found something right there. Oh, he's not a believer? If I could make him a believer, he's going to see me as this quality woman. He's going to see me as a virtuous woman. These chicks be cold, bro. Let a bird find an opening to change a man's perception. It's going to be over with.
As to why it wasn't going to work.
You said you didn't want a long distance
I
relationship.
didn't want a long
at the
distance
time.
relationship. And honestly, to this day, I don't think we would have worked had it not been for your steadfastness. You were so steadfast. Like, even when I wavered,
Yeah.
you would be like, girl, this is working. This is working out. Like, I know you have all of these things that you've built up as to why it's not going to work, but you were very like, this is going to work.
Yeah.
And you never wavered. And I literally, it's just so crazy because, listen, okay, guys, this story is descriptive, not prescriptive. I'm not telling you to do things the way that we did. I'm just sharing.
Actually, don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't do
the
things the way that we did.
Actually, yeah,
Make
yeah.
sure you're with a
Exactly.
believer. We're always going to ride for what the word says, honestly.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
always the best thing. And I just think that our story is just redemptive and God is good despite all of the mistakes we made. So let
Yeah,
me just say
100%.
that. But yeah, so
Yeah, there were
tons
plenty of mistakes. Because I
of
remember,
mistakes.
I mean, I don't even know if you want to share this, but I remember walking, or when you were getting ready to go home, it was like, we have to stay in touch and figure out what's going on because you thought you could potentially even be pregnant.
Oh, yes. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever. We're already here. I did think that.
Bro, you was smashing this bro to raw? What's so ill about this, man, is the fact that all of this was going on while her ex-boyfriend was right there. This chick didn't have the decency to conduct herself in a decent way around her ex. The man who probably used to do a lot for her, he probably was in love with her. And she just met this dude, and she's allowing him to hit it raw and dumping in her. This is just disgusting, bro.
That because we were being dumb.
Yeah.
Like, we were being so dumb and foolish. And it's so crazy because I just made so many dumb decisions during that cruise.
That was wild, yeah.
That was crazy. And I remember you even thinking, like, I don't do this. Like,
Yeah.
you were saying to me that you're a lot more protective and stuff like that, and you weren't. And I think it's because
your ass is a witch. And you had this fool open. That's all it really is. She sprinkled her little spell on homie. Had that man wide open. Yo, this is crazy, bro. But it's real. It's real, man. That's why I be trying to tell y'all dudes, bro, stay in the light. Because when you lost out here and a bird get her hands on you, she will sway you in whatever direction she wants you to go. Pay attention to a woman's actions, fellas. Never her words. Never her words. Her actions. All right, this chick is ready on the first night. So regardless of whatever she says, this is who she is. She's a woman who get down on the first night, and that gotta be a bird. She's a woman who is indisciplined. She's a woman who is lustful. She can't control her emotions. She's weak to the flesh. This is who she is. But from the time you start listening to her words, she's going to start painting a different picture and moving you away from reality. That's how a bird get down, bro. Just listen to this bird, bro.
If I'm going to be completely honest, it felt animalistic. Like it
Okay, that's an
actually
interesting
felt,
word to use.
yeah, it actually felt like I met Elijah and I knew, like our hearts knew
Yeah.
that we were going to be together.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. Because even
Oh,
you had
man, this is
mentioned
crazy.
just like, how we had a lot of conversations, the conversations that we had throughout the day and the piano bar and all that. And when we were first just starting to get to know each other, I remember there were some things that you had said that like threw me all the way off too. Cause like I think you were literally the first chick I had talked to. And you said, like, when I asked you about the kid situation, you're like, yeah, I don't want any kids.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm married, I'm happy with never having a kid. I was like, what? I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that. And I was so far on the other end. Like, I told you I wanted like 4 or 5 kids. I wanted a big
Yeah.
family and all this. And I definitely wasn't in a rush at all, which I think was another thing. But I wasn't in a rush at all to have a family, to get married, any of that. So for us to be kind of conflicting in that, but then to still connect so much, I think it was very interesting. But yeah, just in that whole process, there was so many interesting things. Like, I remember one of the things that attracted me to you was throughout our conversations, you had so much drive and you had like such big dreams and goals and visions for yourself. And at that time, I remember you wanted to be the Governor General of Canada. You were thinking about going back to school.
The
I think
fact you remember that?
Yeah, you
That's
already had
funny.
your undergrad degree, and you wanted to go back to school to get your master's, and then potentially be the
Governor
Governor
General
General
of Canada.
Yeah, and go around and
Bro, that just means that she's masculine, bro. And some of y'all dudes, like, gotta stop equating a woman who is, a woman who is, I guess, ambitious or whatever the case may be, as a quality woman. It's cute that she got goals and things like that, but it don't take away from who she is. Birds like this are usually very masculine. They are control freaks. Understand that. If a woman wants to be a governor, she wants to rule, she wants to control. That's a masculine woman. As a man, we need to focus on feminine women. Women who wants to be led. And another thing too, bro. When you hear a woman say she doesn't want to have kids, that's a woman who is lacking nurturing instincts. Understand that. She's lacking that nurturing instincts that feminine women possesses. I keep telling y'all, bro, the signs are always there. This is just a dude that she marked out. Understand that. He is just her little puppet. Because the fact that she could be a hoe, be a completely hoe, and then got this dude to marry her, it just tells the type of woman she is. Okay? These women find victims. They don't find boyfriends. They don't find husbands. They find victims, men that they can control. And I'm looking on their YouTube page, bro, and it looks like I don't even think he got her pregnant. Because she don't want to be tied down. She want to control. Look, man, this is what it is, man. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. Fellas, the signs are always there. I keep telling you all dudes, you gotta treat a bird like a bird. You got to, bro. This is a straight one night stand. The type of chick that you smash on the cruise, have your fun, and after the cruise is over, don't call her again. Now, if y'all meet again on another cruise, do the same thing. Dog her out, splash in her face and all that good stuff, because I'm pretty sure that's what this bird is into. This dude probably was making love to her. That's the whole thing. He probably was all nice to her and making love to her. And bro, you should be dogging that broad out, bro. All the way. All the way. Please leave your thoughts in the comments, man. Fellas, be wise out here, bro. For real.